What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of our weekly podcast. We are batting practice. We got a great one for you today. We are like, what, 5 days away from
Six,
the 6
six.
days away from the trade deadline happening in baseball. So this is honestly one of my favorite times of the year. I feel like I say that a lot. Like I love the beginning of the year. I love the
Baseball
trade
times.
deadline. It's just baseball. It's baseball. All the
Mhm.
fun things happening in baseball. We're throwing some potential names at you today. We'll get into that a little bit later. Before we get too far into it, boys, well, first of all, Andrew, you are officially banned from
Whoa,
going to Brewers
from
Cubs
Rocket League.
games at Wrigley Field.
Oh, because you lost
You saw
and
the
then
only losing game in the
Yep,
series.
I did. I did.
So I am officially banning you. You are not allowed.
could you see the game this time or were you behind another pole?
No, I was in the, I'll,
Oh,
no, 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 no. We were out in the bleachers. The
ooh,
bleachers
did
at
you
Oh,
build a
Wrigley
cup snake?
are absolute. Yes, we did. With several beers. I was with a group of guys. None of them were Cubs fans, which is
Oh,
oh,
good,
hilarious.
good.
were
Uh,
there any other Brewers fans? Or were they just there to make the snake and film it for TikTok? Because that's
you
also
know, I mean, well, I don't question anyone's fandom, but a lot of the guys hailed from different parts of the country originally. Got a Braves fan, Giants fan.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
lots of different. Oh, Phillies fan. Lots of
All
different
right.
NL teams, but none
Diverse.
Cubs or Brewers.
All right. I can respect that. I can respect that.
Yeah,
All right, yeah. Braves, I mean, be attending a Braves game later this year. We'll see about that.
Oh.
Nosh, what's that
Yeah.
hat? Is that a
Dude,
new
it's
one?
my new Brewers hat. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
that's a pretty
Shout
cool
out
one.
to okay, I'll give you $1 each if you guess where the hat is from.
You were
I'll
about
narrow
to
it
say
down. What store it's
you
from.
were okay, okay. You shouldn't have said that because I would have said like Poshmark or something. Um,
I bet,
It's kind of a
I bet
store.
your mom went to Kohl's and had a bunch of Kohl's cash
oh,
and got
that's
you
a
that hat
good
because of Kohl's.
guess.
He's turning so red. I'm so
He's
right. I'm
smiling,
so right. I'm
bro.
so right.
It's
Venmo,
from it's from Kohl's. It's from
whip it
Kohl's.
out. A
It's from
dollar.
Kohl's.
In fact, you should give
Short
him a
coleslaw.
dollar
Actually,
at his
fun
wedding.
fact,
At his wedding during the speech. That's
I
a
have a
star
dollar
dollar.
right here.
That's
It's
a
a
star
star
dollar.
dollar, which is
There
why I
we
keep
go.
it on my desk.
KSS.
All right.
Well, Andrew, I owe you $1. You will be getting $1 from me in the near
There we go.
future.
There we go.
That was really good. I'm impressed.
I think
Easy.
instead
Wait,
of
okay.
so this is technically episode 98.
Right.
Yeah. Because then the next one will be 99, and then the one where we're all home for Andrew's wedding will be 100.
Woo woo.
Where and how we'll record that and if we'll do it together is yet to be determined. But
Live.
either way, um, we will be home then. So Nash will be giving Andrew a dollar in person. How about that?
Andrew,
Yeah. Maybe
I will
maybe a
throw
hundred
this.
pennies. Maybe 100 pennies.
Yeah, maybe I should be petty like that.
Yeah.
I will double down. I will give
Like
you an extra dollar if you can tell me why I was at Kohl's.
Oh, okay. So you bought this for yourself.
wait, this is double down? So this is $2 or zero, or is this
No,
just $2 or $1?
I'm a
You'll
man of my
personally
word.
double
I
it.
will
Okay.
still give you $1, but I will double this dollar if you tell me the reasoning for me being at Kohl's.
You were looking for a white dress shirt to wear with your suit to my wedding.
I was not.
Oh, that is where my
That
brain went.
was that
That is
was a
where my
very
brain
good
went,
guess
but I've
though.
my also initial reaction after that was it's too easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Jacob,
too easy.
I will pass on to you. You can also win $1 if you tell me
Oh,
why I was at Kohl's.
The thing is that it could still
Yeah, Andrew knows, I
be
think.
something for the wedding.
I think Andrew knows.
Um, as for what it would be, I genuinely you were there to buy the hat. Duh. No, as for what it would be, like something related to the wedding, I have no idea. Like if you
I
need new
think it's.
shoes, you
I
don't
don't
even
think
think it's
it's.
related to the wedding. See, if
Nope.
it's not related to the wedding, then I feel like I'm out the window because I don't live by you guys. So I'm just gonna guess and say that you were shopping for. mm,
The
I
suspense is
don't
killing
know.
me.
I don't know.
You were returning
I
a package. You were
I was
returning a
returning
package.
an Amazon
Ah,
package.
oh, I
Oh,
knew it.
you
I
can
knew it.
return
I
Amazon
knew it.
packages at
I
Kohl's?
knew
You
it.
can. They have a little kiosk at Kohl's
See,
now where you can return Amazon
is that every
packages.
Kohl's?
I think
Because
Yes.
so.
I don't
Yes.
not I like I have a Kohl's.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So you can go on your Amazon account and
Didn't
click
know that.
return and they will scan your phone and take back whatever you ordered, no questions asked.
Yeah, I never would have gotten that.
Just happened to walk past the wall of hats on the way to returning an Amazon package, and there was the brewer's hat. So that's
See,
why
that is
Genius
marketing.
business. Yep.
I know.
Yes. Oh,
They
we'll
got me
let
in
you
the
do
store.
that. It got you in the store.
Yep, that's the truth. Wouldn't
Yeah,
have
we'll
been at
accept
Kohl's
Amazon
otherwise.
packages.
Hey, shout out Kohl's. They do have a lot of good stuff there. It's a good
Fun,
store.
Is
fun,
it
very cold story. My guess originally was based on a true story. The last
Hmm.
time I think I voluntarily went into a Kohl's was to shop for a white dress shirt. I was going to a wedding, not my own, and I was in driving in the car and I spilled coffee and we were driving straight to the venue, so I did not have time to change. So I was
Oh
wearing
my
my full
gosh.
suit, full dress fit, spilled coffee all over it. And in a pinch, I was like, I can't get this out. I don't have stain remover. Nothing's going to work. I need a brand new shirt. So veered off the highway, crossed 3 lanes. No, exited like a normal person, but got shout out to Kohl's for hooking me up with a brand new dress shirt right that instant. Still made the ceremony, was on time. But yeah, shout out to Kohl's. They come through in the
shout out to
moments you
living in a city?
well, this was weird driving, so I was lucky that there was one
Because
nearby.
like I went to a wedding about an hour away from here, and let's just say you're not finding any white dress shirts within a 30-mile radius from there.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. Who'd have thought Kohl's would have been the highlight of the episode so far?
Nash, what or is it TMI? What were you returning?
Uh, it is actually a new coffee maker. Um,
Oh,
Oh,
I
it's
think
coffee's just
I think we have a malfunctioning outlet in our kitchen, and we've had three different separate coffee makers break. Um, and they've all been plugged into the same outlet. So we've since rebought the coffee maker and switched to a different outlet, and it's worked thus far.
oh,
So,
okay.
so that's the developing situation in our household.
Nice.
Yeah.
You getting your money back too, or are you just sending it back?
No, you get your money back. It's as long
Really?
as
Even
I
though
want to
you
say
short circuited it?
as long as it's within 30 days, it can be used, whatever. They take it back. They don't even look at it.
Hmm.
yeah, I even saw a video that they don't the way that they verify the return is they weigh the item, and if it's the same weight as what it shipped out as, then it's okay. So somebody
There you go.
replaced their item with a bunch of rocks with the same weight. Amazon accepted it. So,
Wow.
hey, shout out to Amazon. That's their system, but I mean, they get so many orders.
Yeah,
But
I
hey, you went
mean,
to Kohl's. Good on you,
hey,
man.
another, I mean, a silver lining to this story is the coffee maker was returned on or slightly before Prime Day, and the same one was rebought on Prime Day for $30 cheaper. So
Oh,
in hindsight, we saved $30 on this coffee maker. So it kind of
wow.
worked out.
Feel
Kind of
like
worked
that
out. It's like a rebate.
There you go.
yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Feel like it's kind of like a rebate.
Yep.
How about that?
There you
Is that
go.
like if you were interested in MLB player to trade and then they get hurt, then you can acquire them for a little bit less? Maybe that's the corollary for us today.
Are you saying Mike Trout is getting traded?
Cody
What?
Bellinger, Cody Bellinger, his
Oh,
knuckle, his knuckle.
okay. Okay. I
I
thought we were gonna get a title, a clickbait title there.
no.
Well,
You bring
I'm
up a
getting
good point.
traded.
should we just
I
dive right in?
I say we die. I say we head first.
Let's go.
Head first slide into the trade deadline.
So the funny thing though, and this is never talked about in the trade deadline conversations. The one thing I like rack my head around is why teams wait until the last possible moment for trades, since the amount every day that you wait, that's less time that this player is going to make a difference for your team. And if you want to win games now, granted, I mean, a lot of these teams are likely going to make the postseason either way. They're in very strong contention, but but you're also fighting to be the number one seed, and that matters too. So it's so funny how teams are just waiting until just the 31st when, in my opinion, if from you should trade for the player immediately so that they can be on your team sooner. Maybe teams that are sellers get more desperate over time. But I don't know. It just seems really weird to me that the market doesn't move faster and it kind of always converges on the last day.
Yeah, you bring up a great point that I've always questioned too, because all the flurry of trades happen like within the last hour or two of the deadline
Yeah,
normally, which, like you said, is very interesting because teams can trade throughout the entire season.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the fact that more teams don't trade
Look at Arias.
in June, exactly. I get that there's more of a premium. You pay a little more because you're getting the player for more of the season. But like you said, if it's going to help your team win, why not do it in June or in May if you're the White Sox selling your team because you're the worst team in MLB history and you know that you're not in the playoffs by May 15th, then sell
It's
your
funny,
team.
but it's true.
So I don't know why more teams don't do it earlier, like you said.
It's funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
They are
It's
on pace to be the worst team in MLB history.
what are they? 50? They're officially 50 games under 500, I believe, after losing last night to the Rangers.
The one
Shout
silver
out.
lining in all of this, I think, Jacob, your Charlotte Knights games are going to get a lot more exciting
This is
because
true.
some of
Yeah.
these players that
Give
might
me
be
some
moved,
prospects to the Sox, baby.
you're gonna potentially see some of the best prospects that each of the teams has to offer. So,
I'll have
um,
a whole section of myself, part two. Once September hits, once the kiddies are back in school, little Wednesday morning game or afternoon game, there will be nobody there.
there you go,
That'll be
just you
fun.
and the coaches.
Just me and
The
the
coaches.
White Sox prospects.
There we go. Well,
All right,
so
let me before we get into it, let me give you a question here. What is the age limit, or is there an age limit for asking for a player for their autograph?
there's no limit. There's no
Yeah?
limit.
No
Texas
limit.
Hold'em.
So even if you're
Yeah.
older than them, hypothetically, if I asked Jackson Churio for his autograph, I'm 7 years older than him.
Yeah,
You don't think
I
that's
like it.
like you like it? Go for it all the way.
Yeah, yeah,
What about a high schooler that was drafted
yeah. Hey, I'll
by
get
an
them to sign
MLB
my
team?
Sorare card if they're yeah. I don't know. I don't care. I have
If
no
okay,
shame.
I say no shame unless you're like pushing a little kid out of the way to get the autograph.
Mm.
Like if you're
Oh,
there, you're being
there's shameful ways
respectful,
you can do it. There's
right?
shameful ways you
Oh,
can
for
do it.
sure. But
Yeah.
simply just being there and getting one, I think that's perfectly respectable.
All right. All right.
So related to that, I was at the Brewers game recently. Josh called me out for going, even calling me a loser, loser to the team. But related to this, I was at the game. There was foul balls hit. Let's say someone that is an adult, but not like an adult with children, catches the ball. At what age are you supposed to then give the ball away? Or at what point do you go from, hey, this is awesome, I caught it, it's my souvenir, to, oh, you should probably give it to a kid because, they're like they deserve that kind of thing. Is there a cutoff? Is it a mindset? Because at the game, somebody caught a foul ball next to me. He was about my age, and he then turned around and gave it to a kid. That to me, it would be shame if he did not do that. But let's say it was a teenager that did that. I don't know. Let him keep it. It's a weird thing, but for autographs, I don't feel shame in asking. But if someone if I got a foul ball or home run hit to me, unless it was like the player's like 200th or very important milestone, I'm probably giving that away to a kid.
I might answer your question with a question
All right.
and go, what if you catch it? I feel this might be a non-based take. Um, this might be too woke for you guys, but I think if you catch it, you're allowed to put that in your pocket and keep that for the rest of your life, no matter what. If you made a play on that ball and caught it, that's sick. That's like a memory you can tell. I don't know. If you're with some other people too, I feel like it's easier to be like, oh, pass it amongst each other. Or like if you're by yourself, it's like, all right. But if it even bounces once or bounces
Mhm.
off of someone's hand or doesn't have anything significant about it, maybe give that to a kid. Now, I will say it happened recently. I actually made a YouTube video on it.
I was gonna
A
say he gave it
Brewers
away, didn't he?
guy, he caught it with his food tray, and it was by accident, which is the most insane thing I've ever seen. And I don't know. I don't think he gave it away, but like that went in the food tray. That's a
Yeah, fair
story.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's you could be like, oh yeah, I have the ball. It's here. And you could just be like, I gave it to a kid. I don't know. Personally, if I catch one, I'm keeping it.
Yeah,
I
you
think you
you
snap a
go ahead.
picture. Snap a picture.
Proof.
That's it. Because
You
the thing is, it's not the ball, it's the how you caught it,
experience,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
true.
You kind of
That's
took the
true.
words out of my mouth. I was gonna say the same thing. Like if you make a good play on it and you catch it, it's yours. But like if you're scavenging 3 rows, digging the ball out from someone's toes and grabbing it, then you should probably give it to somebody. Home runs are kind of a different story. I
Home
Yes,
think home
runs too,
runs
yes,
are
yeah.
agreed.
auto keep. Auto keep.
Yes. Yep,
No matter it can
yep,
bounce 8 times. If you snag that home run ball, it's yours. Fun
yep.
All right.
fact,
Ride.
I caught this one.
Oh, you caught a home
Okay,
run.
Kind
also
of fun.
there's levels to this. This was a foul ball. This was the first time
Hmm.
I ever got a game ball at the game. I've caught home runs
Cool.
during batting practice. I've gotten balls thrown to me, whatever. This is the first time a live action game ball was ever hit to me in the stands. So I kept it. Now, if it
Yeah.
happened again, I might pass it on.
Okay. Let me give you a ride or fade real quick.
Oh,
Oh, all right.
Um, Ride or fade bringing a backup baseball to
Was
a
thinking
Cubs
that.
game,
Yep.
and catching a home run and throwing the backup non-game used baseball onto the field so you still get to keep the home run hit to you. Ride or fade. Is that against the spirit of being a Cubs fan? We've seen it in other fans too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I will call out Cubs fans like the best of them, but we've seen it at other stadiums too. Um,
how
Rider
about
fade,
this? How about
rider
this?
fade. Are you answering my rider fade with a rider fade? Because I already just.
No, no, I'm this could
And
go on
We
Inception
forever.
haven't.
this.
We need to talk
We
about the
could be
trade
here all
deadline in a
day.
second.
We could be here all day.
Uh-huh.
I'll be quick. I'm 1000% fading throwing the ball back anyway. So bringing a
Uh,
ball to throw instead is like 10 times more of a fade than even throwing it back in the first
but you
place.
still get to keep the
Fade.
souvenir then.
You shouldn't throw a ball on the field regardless. It's silly.
All right. Let's take it back to your bachelor party. That game was just had no offense. Let's say it's Brewers, Cubs, Brewers, Pirates, or let's say Cubs, and Cody Bellinger hits a home run directly to you. Obviously, we're all upset because the Cubs scored a run, maybe even more. In that moment, are you looking at that ball and saying, "Yes, this is awesome," or is it a symbol of your frustration that the team that you despise the most is now doing well? In that moment, would you keep that ball or would you throw it back?
Keep,
I,
still keep.
are
That
you
being
kicked out
said,
for throwing it back?
It
oh,
depends, I
that's a
think.
good question.
Because if I'm getting kicked out, I'm not
That's
throwing it
true.
back. I paid good money.
There might be stadiums that do that. I
So,
I'm
will
sure
say
there are.
this is from years ago, but the guy who this is maybe 2021, Stan hit a home run at Fenway. Dude threw
yep.
it back and it hit Stanton.
Yep.
Like he nailed Stanton. Like that's kind of
It
sick.
was from the Monster, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
It
yeah, because
was
it's not
like
like
a
Maybe,
quick it was like a quick transfer too.
right. Because the players don't
Um
turn around. They're still
yeah.
focused because they have to wait for
So
the next pitch.
so real quick, no explanation needed. Ride or fade bringing the ball.
Ride, ride all the
Ride?
way. I've considered it.
Yeah.
right. You could, okay, Andrew, going back to your
I think I'm
question.
gonna fade it, and I'm gonna say an explanation, even though I said no explanation needed, just because of it's against the spirit, not because of like you don't deserve to keep the ball or you might get kicked out, but it's against the spirit of throwing the ball back and what it stood for, you know?
True. A la movie magic,
All
there's
right.
a chance you catch a home run and throw it back, and you get signed to a contract. Have you ever seen Rookie of the
True.
Year?
The yeah, yeah,
Great,
yeah.
great baseball movie.
Also Cubs.
Also, Cubs. The kid
Yeah.
throws it back and gets signed to a contract. There's more to the story, obviously, but good movie if you've never seen it.
Hmm.
All right,
Is
that's
it?
enough of that.
If you
Let's
throw
get
it
into our
back, they
trade
could
deadline.
the ball boy might give it to a kid too.
That's true. That's
But
true.
trade deadline, trade deadline. Yes, we're here. This podcast will be up later today, actually. So the
Woo!
25th of July, 6 days until the trade deadline. Officially, the bell rings on the trade deadline stock exchange. But we are going to be talking about this from a Sorare perspective, of course. Players that we think are going to go. I mean, this is not necessarily financial advice, but players that will go up in value fantasy wise. Players that will go up in value fantasy wise for other fantasy baseball platforms besides Sorare, because they will be, we think, traded to teams that have more potential to use them and to make a playoff push as well. So, for example, hypothetically, well, we're going to be hearing about this in a bit, but a White Sox player to be traded to a contender and then be able to be used in So Rare in October. So, there we go. That in turn would increase their value not only now, but also when it becomes that limited pool of players you can use in the postseason for So Rare. That would also help you out there. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get in it. I know me and Nash couldn't narrow it down, so we have a couple players, but Andrew, I feel like you
Oh
have a
yeah.
clear and concise pick. Go for it.
All right. It's a team that is south of where I'm currently at in Chicago.
Team that I
Uh,
just mentioned.
yeah, a team that we're probably gonna be talking a lot about. Mr. Luis Robert Jr.,
Mm,
outfielder who is certainly going to, I think he's to be traded, and whichever team he goes to, it's likely someone that's going to need a bat. Phillies, Braves come to mind as two teams that I think he'll end up with. Teams that have, decent arms already, maybe a starting pitcher, but I think for them, priority is going to be to add bats. And to Jacob's point, he right now is hitting on the White Sox, who do not score that many runs. So imagine, from a Sower perspective, his solo home runs turn into two, three grand slam. That is an extra 5 to 15 points per home run, since RBIs are worth five each. So this will help his scoring probably if he moves to a better team. And not to mention what we see time and time again is that players on playoff teams, it's funny. It happens like 3 days out because just like MLB teams trading until the last moment, so are managers also wait until the last moment to build their playoff teams. So even if his price doesn't move that much on the news, uh, you get excited at that, honestly, because his price will probably move the most. If the team he gets traded for makes the playoffs, be very weird if he got traded and that team did not make the playoffs. That would actually be a crazier story. But I think Mr. Roberts can be traded for some prospects that Jacob will probably get to watch down in Charlotte.
Heyo. So for reference, it looks like you can get a new Luis Robert card here for about $30 in Sorare, maybe a little bit less.
Yep.
We have a last year's card selling for 17.59. There's
It's
a
not
couple
bad.
going on bid. One ends in 21 hours actually. So tomorrow morning. But yeah, I could see that just being a great pick for sure. Um, like you said, a team that can produce offense that doesn't involve him allows him to produce more offense himself. So yeah, White Sox. I saw him rob a home run in real life
It's
Wow.
pretty
at
cool.
yeah, at Comiskey. What's that stadium called nowadays?
It is guaranteed rate field. And
Guaranteed
That's
rate.
right.
US
funny
Cellular,
to back that up, I
whatever.
mean, everyone talks about his hitting, and he recently did make headlines for not playing the outfield well. He does have a few gold gloves, so his defense is also pretty on point. So it's not just for him that bat that everyone wants. You'll get some defensive prowess with him as well.
Who are they trading
Andrew,
for? Or where's he
I was
going?
just gonna say, what? Pick a
Yeah.
Oh,
team.
well, I
Pick a
said
team.
I'll lock in Phillies.
Phillies.
But I'd
Whew,
say Phillies
okay.
Braves if I can't pick two.
Okay. Phillies
Yeah.
Phillies.
Braves were going NL
Jeez.
East
Yep.
for sure.
So
Give me
he'd
one of
Okay.
those two.
probably he'd
So
probably
White Sox are
play.
going for one of their farm systems.
Oh, well, he could play left
Phillies
field and have Schwarber
definitely
DH.
Phillies have the better farm system, I want to say,
Yeah.
with Aiden Miller.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is he Phillies? Yes. Yeah. That would be a potential target there for the White Sox, but the White Sox need everything.
Yep. They're going to come
Right.
to Charlotte. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. The team that players that they're trading Robert for are going to end up in Charlotte. You heard it first.
It seems
And
like
I'll catch their foul balls
he.
and keep them for myself.
There you
Yeah,
go.
tease a little kid.
It seems like of all the position players, he is like probably number one. Like
Yeah.
he is like the one position player that seems to be a guarantee to get traded. I'm curious what that means in terms of his trade value. I think he's going to cost more than what people want to give up just because he's like the hot commodity this trade deadline. So
Yep.
we'll see what kind of haul the White Sox get for him, assuming he is traded, which would be very surprising if he wasn't traded.
I think it helps too that there's no like Bellinger being hurt. I think that would have been another player that teams could have been a really good comp for him. So the fact that Bellinger likely comes with the injured tag, I think just helps Robert's value more. It'll be interesting to see how the White Sox manage this. I imagine they probably take a phone call every minute from teams that are interested in their players. Uh, I'm curious who you guys have picked if you also have another South Sider. But you could honestly go down their whole lineup minus the people that are playing like trash.
Yeah.
True, pretty
Well, Nash,
much.
you go for it because I think you also have a White Sox player that you want to pick
Yeah,
or at least
I
mention.
I actually don't. I was between
What?
two
Okay.
outfielders, and one of them was Luis Robert Jr. because he seems to be the obvious name. So I went more obscure, and I went more full circle because I picked this player as my bust at the beginning of the year, and
That's the full.
he is busting currently. He has played terribly all year long. I am going with Randy Arozarena to be traded to everybody's favorite baseball team, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Hmm.
Hear me out. Hear me out. I know. Everybody just clicked off. That's okay.
Bid on this
So,
one. You should bid on this one. Commit.
yes. So, I'll talk baseball first, and then I will talk a little bit about the solar side of it. But the Rays, you look at their record, it's not too bad. I believe they're exactly 500 right now, but they are 5 games out of the wild card spot. And we're approaching a time in the season where it's getting there. We're getting pretty close to talking playoffs. So I think the Rays are gonna do a little retooling, as the MLB world likes to say. I don't think they're gonna fully sell off. I think they're gonna try and get something pretty solid in return for Randy. But he's been terrible this year. He's hitting 215,
Yeah.
only 15 home runs for him. So I think he's gonna go to the Dodgers and do what everybody does when they go to the Dodgers and hit amazingly. Their outfield is questionable at best. They have home run derby champ Teoscar Hernandez. Outside of that, Andy Pies has been playing here and there. They don't really have a lot of outfield hitting ability. Um, Somebody just got hurt for them in the outfield. It was
Taylor,
who is it?
Chris Taylor.
Yes.
No, it was
He also did
It
get
was
hurt.
Chris Taylor. James Outman got
Bimmel.
sent down. They have just their
Outman
outfield
got
has been
sent
struggling.
down.
Yeah.
Their outfield has been struggling kind of all year.
Hmm.
So it just seems to make sense that they would trade for an outfielder, in my opinion. Um, the person I'm thinking of is Jason Hayward just
Oh,
got hurt.
Hayward, yeah. Duh.
So
But Taylor
without
also, I
him,
want to say Taylor
Taylor
He
also
also
did.
got hurt.
He
Yep.
limped
like
off.
yesterday,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Very
So
recent.
they desperately need some help, and Randy is the perfect fit. He's the guy that's gonna turn it around. Now, in terms of
And
so rare,
Dodgers tend to do that too,
they do.
Come
Look at Teoscar. Nobody he got a pretty small deal when the Mariners didn't want to resign him, and now he's the home run champ this year. So um in terms of so rare, Randy right now is not too expensive because he has not been playing that well this season. I see a couple of instant buys, a couple of auctions, a couple of public offers, anywhere between $10 and $20. You can get his instant buy right now for 1954. So you're looking at a pretty solid card going into the playoffs that could do well for you. He's a home run hitter. We all know, we all love our home run hitters in So Rare. So
I have his card.
uh, there you go. If he's traded, he will be a starter in that outfield. So, and the
I
Dodgers
feel
are
like
the
he's
Dodgers.
kind of got just like a playoff hype kind of aura
Yeah,
to him.
yeah.
Hmm.
He's kind of got that like Adolis
Like
Garcia
a
vibe.
Jose, oh, I was gonna say Jose Bautista, but
Yeah,
yeah, that
same
works
vibe,
too.
same
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
Um,
Um
but yeah,
I
to get
would
a starting outfielder for a team like the Dodgers, that odds are probably going to make it pretty far in the playoffs, um, and choke at some point like they always do. But that's okay. For less than $20 right now is a pretty solid buy in my opinion.
all right. Well, I have two players, like I said at the beginning. I will talk about one very quickly, and then I'll move on to my actual choice here, which might be the most stretch out of all of the three, especially considering the teams that they come from. But number one, I am going to go with he's injured right now, so I don't even know if he would be trade eligible with passing physicals, so on and so forth, stuff like that. But Bo Bichette,
Oh,
he's having
Yeah.
an off year.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a Randy year,
yeah.
and
Blue Jays are dead.
Blue Jays are more dead than the Rays.
True.
He has a
Very true.
negative WAR this year. He's batting
Ooh,
223, but his career batting average, we got baseball reference up, 290. If it weren't for
yeah.
this year, he's a career 300 hitter. And he's a shortstop too. Who doesn't want a
Shortstops are a
shortstop?
premium
Who doesn't want a shortstop? Everyone
The
wants a
Brewers.
shortstop. The Orioles don't need a shortstop. Let's be honest. The Brewers don't really need a shortstop.
until they trade Adames.
Nah.
Oh,
Adamas for Bo Bichette.
That's
swap
crazy. That's
Bo
crazy
and
trade.
Vladdy Jr.
I don't think the Brewers are trading this. Okay, we'll talk about this in a sec. But yeah, Bo Bichette,
Good pick.
290 hitter.
Yeah.
He has a career WAR of 17.4, a career OPS plus of 120, but he's only got it at 70 this year. It's just been a down year for him, and that might make it a little bit easier of trade bait, might require a little bit less on a team's side in order to pick him up. But moving on over across the infield and maybe into the dugout, depending if he's DHing or not. What about Vladdy? What are we saying about Vladdy Guerrero Jr.?
I know where he's going.
Where?
Is that too much of a stretch? Because if he gets
He's
traded,
going to be
a
gone.
team is picking up. This isn't a Brewers hat. A team is picking up a fantastic player. He had a slow start to this year. Guess what Vladdy's batting this year? Give me a batting average.
Dude, he's turned it around so much. He's got to be hitting like 285.
211.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is hitting 293 this year
Hmm.
with
Woo!
an OPS plus of 137.
My
Holy
gosh.
cow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's with the slow start.
that's with the slow start. He's only hit 17 home runs. I shouldn't say only. I mean, that's a 30 pace ish. We'll see if he actually hits that, but 293. In today's pitching age, day and age, he's been hitting home runs like crazy recently too. So maybe that home run number is going to go up. And again, first baseman DH not necessarily as desirable as a shortstop. Um, my dog just he's sleeping and he did like the little squeak when he's sleeping. So if the mic picked up on that, that's hilarious. Uh, you know what I'm talking about though, like the
Yep.
little
Yep.
but yeah.
All right.
Vladdy, if you're
Where,
an old, ugh, an old school OPS guy, his OPS is 841. That's almost, I mean, that's all-star numbers right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
he
Which he
should have
was.
been. Or he
Yeah.
was, I mean, yeah.
Which he was, yeah. Um,
Um,
but
okay, so
like,
you're
okay,
you're
so you think
selling the
he's
whole
going
Blue
to the
Jays team.
Brewers? Brewers have a lot of prospects to trade, not only in the big leagues, but also coming up, AAA.
Yeah. Our outfield is overcrowded. But with Yelich going down and who knows, he's probably out for the season. Um, it becomes a little more thin in the outfield, but they still have four starting outfielders right now on the team. You can argue about Blake Perkins, that's fine, but he has been a starter for most of this year. Um, and yeah, they have a great farm system. They have good MLB talent that they are willing to give up. Reese has been meh this year. And they don't really have a DH at this point. So Vladdy and Reese Hoskins switching off DH and first base just kind of makes sense.
If he was available, if he was available, I don't
That's
think
Whoever.
the
he's
thing,
available.
and that's
I don't think
why
he's traded.
I called it the biggest stretch
Oh yeah.
because he's he's Canadian. He was born in Canada. Um, believe it or not. His dad played for the Expos, Canadian. Um, just everything about Vladdy points to the Blue Jays and staying in Canada. But I don't know. He hasn't had too much of a chance to compete in the postseason. He's stuck in the hell that is the AL East right now.
True. Yeah.
I think he might be a little more available than you think.
Um, where
Whether that,
is
yeah.
where's Bo going?
Where's Bo going with the shortstop position? That's tough. That's tough.
I know where Bo's going to.
Where
Staying.
I
Oh, the Blue Jays are dead.
know I'm thinking maybe like the Braves.
Okay.
Um, I could see him going to
Everybody's favorite team.
Dodgers, baby.
Yeah, baby.
no.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's an
They need
upgrade.
a
So
shortstop.
you think like when Mookie comes back, then what?
Second base,
Yep.
he's not a shortstop. He's not a shortstop. Mookie is not. He's a fill-in. The Dodgers are getting away with a fill-in. Mookie is a second baseman. You bring in Bo, you have Mookie on the back at second base. Man, that's it's dangerous.
I think if he gets traded, it's gonna. Well, okay. Bo, I think he'll stay. But I think if Vlad gets traded, I think it's to one of the coasts. I'm sorry.
Mm,
It's either New York or LA. I don't, unfortunately, I think maybe this is the
Yeah.
Brewers' pessimist in
It,
me,
it,
but
it the Brewers would probably kind of pull a little CC Sabathia with a
that would
Vladdy
be
too.
crazy. This would be
I
bigger than
don't
season
think
back
they
then.
would eh, depending on how the rest of the season goes, you could argue either way. But I would say that it's very similar in that they would
yeah,
do for like a rental in that
right.
regard. I don't think they would sign him to a long-term contract. But for reference, before we forget, you can get a Bo Bichette on Sorare for about $8 to $10.
Wow,
And
good deal.
that was
Not
actually a new
playing.
season card. Yeah, he's not playing. He's also not
Right.
having new cards minted because he's not playing.
True. He'll be back though.
You can get a Vladdy a first year Vladdy for $35. You can get this year's Vladdy for there's one on sale right now for 42. It's looking like about $40. $45 is where that new
Yep.
card is selling for.
It's
With a
not bad.
credit, with a so rare credit, I could get it for, let's see,
35.
25%. I could get it for 45
Wow.
with the so rare credit for instant buy.
There you
I might look into that.
go.
He's only going up. He
It's
guess
true.
how old Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is?
He's
25.
young.
He's
Yeah, he's like
25.
yeah.
That's younger than Adley Rutschman.
That's crazy. Crazy. Wow. There you have it. Since we didn't talk about a pitcher, pitchers definitely are, in my opinion, a little less exciting at the trade deadline because they're kind of moved around a little bit more. Pitchers are more likely to be traded. So I will quickly throw out one for you. I think the Orioles need some pitching help.
Yep.
And I think your Chicago Cubs are dead after the Brewers took 2 out of 3 from them this last series. So I think they're going to
Cubs are
send
sellers.
Jamison Tyone to the
Mm,
Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh.
that's a good move.
That was your pitcher?
That
Okay.
was my pitcher. It's too easy to sit here and say, oh, Kopech, oh, Fetty, oh, whoever from the White Sox, but
All right.
I'm going more obscure this episode.
Yeah, I like it. His Sora card, 250,
There you go.
$1, 188 for an old season card.
It's
Yeah,
really
they're
cheap
not
actually.
they're not trading Steele, they're not trading Shota.
Nope.
There would be no point in investing in their future if they're going to get rid of their future.
Tyone is 32 years old.
Yeah, that's not that
Currently,
much younger than Shota.
he has a 2.96 ERA in 17 starts this year.
Shota Imanaga's 30. So he's
The
only
other
2 years older
thing,
than Shota.
Tyone is not a rental. He has a contract, so you'd get him for a couple years, although he is expensive. So it's a give and take, but he could be on the move.
Yeah. All right. Which team All right. Well, first and foremost, let's shout at the Astros real quick because didn't someone here say they were going to be sellers in an episode that I was not a part of? Or am
Yep.
I wrong about that?
Josh's bold call. To be fair, we did end that segment. You can clip it with the we think that they're gonna come back part of it.
Yeah,
That's how we ended. So I don't know, take the
there's
ending more than the beginning.
there's a lot of context that you could clip out of that podcast that would look real bad or real good right now. So I guess we're kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
All I'm
Mariners are
saying,
trash.
my
So bad.
Framber, my Montero, my Altuve, my Bregman, my Kyle Tucker when he comes back, hopefully. That playoff push is looking real good. The Astros are in first place.
Yep. Yep.
Mariners are so dead. The
Mariners
Mariners
fans
might as well
are
sell.
booing them off the field.
Julio's kind of hurt.
Yep.
Julio is kind of hurt. You can't count
Hurt.
on second half Julio when he's hurt, but you can't really count on second half Julio anyways in the long term because we need a first half too. I don't think the Mariners will sell. They have
No,
a
they
lot of
won't
young
sell.
pitchers. They have a lot of young pitchers. They have a lot of young
They do.
pitchers.
They do. Well,
I don't think the Mariners will sell.
I don't think so either.
I want
Um,
trades now. I want them
I know.
now.
Seriously, let's get the
Why
ball
wait?
rolling.
Why wait?
Anything? If I
You
click on
could
Twitter and avoid all of the trash,
you could have a
let's
new
see.
starter by the weekend for your weekend series. You should make
Yes.
a deal
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Come on, teams.
Seriously, I agree with you.
I don't get why people wait.
Oh no. Trade coming in.
Passing.
No, you're making it up.
Ryan Sessegnon has agreed to sign with Fulham.
Ah,
Oh,
I would
Former
trade for
Spurs
you
left
too.
back.
Soccer trade.
No, there's nothing. It wasn't a trade. It's just a signing. He's actually a free agent. I am not seeing anything on Twitter.
no.
I'd be shocked if there's any movement before the weekend, honestly. Um, over the weekend we might get a couple trickling in and then the flurry next week. Uh, I will say this to kind of wrap it all up. I think this trade deadline is going to be one of the weirder trade deadlines. I don't think there's going to be a ton of like big movement going on. With the expanded playoffs, there's a lot of teams that are considering themselves in contention for the wild card spots. So I think we're going to see not a ton happening. I hope that's not the case because the trade deadline is so exciting. But I think we're just going to see less teams wanting to sell off their players because expanded playoffs they have a chance still. So
Yeah.
All right,
Everyone's got a
let's
chance.
let's unless you guys have anything else,
oh,
let's send it.
Pickle.
I
Oh,
have a quick
okay.
fun fact for you. So I saw this on a social media, probably TikTok,
Yep.
and it was people sitting basically front row behind home plate at a Salt Lake. I couldn't tell you what their mascot is, which is the AAA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels
Oh,
of
it's
Anaheim.
the one that's Trout.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
Trout
think the
is on
bees.
rehab.
The
I
bees.
think yeah, that sounds right. Trout's in AAA on rehab. People were paying extra 70, $80 for tickets to see Mike Trout play in AAA. He goes up first at bat, strikes out looking. Then he gets pulled from the game with knee
Yep, he
stiffness.
got
So
hurt.
they saw one at bat and he struck out looking.
Yeah,
uh, that's tough.
that's
That's why
your
you don't pay
Sorare player.
extra. That's why you don't pay extra. That is my silver
Yep.
player. You're right.
Angels trade him.
Mike Trout to the Dodgers.
He wouldn't pass a physical.
True.
All right, before we get into the pickle, give me one team that is going to make a trade. A team that's going to make a trade.
I'll do both. Okay.
All right.
Well, the White Sox for sure. That's the fun
Okay.
one. I'm gonna go contra. The Blue Jays
Okay.
are not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
trade anyone.
One
Okay.
oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Yankees.
Okay. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh Pirates.
Ooh,
Ooh.
and they're gonna be
Buyers.
buyers. Yeah, like that one guy from Stranger Things. All right,
Will.
Will Byers. Pickle time? There's been
Yes, I don't know.
so many players we talked about. Who was the first one? Andrew, who was your first
I
pick?
started off with
Robert?
Luis Robert.
Yep.
And if it's AL East, then we go Bichetti.
Nope. It's
Neither.
gonna be NL East or West,
Did we say
which
anyone?
means we did. We said,
Mookie?
oh no, we did mention Mookie, but we didn't say he was gonna get traded.
True.
We mentioned let's see, NL East. We mentioned the Phillies, but we didn't say who they'd be giving up. And we mentioned the Braves, but we didn't say who they'd be giving up.
Trey Turner is getting traded,
Oh,
No, he's not. But
but he is the pickle.
you
yep.
know who the Dodgers could trade?
Ooh.
Maybe. Gavin Lux?
Ooh.
Oh,
Isn't Gavin Lux a lefty?
Oh, you're so right. I forgot about the
It's
righties. All
Trey.
right,
It's
just
Trey.
it's
It's
Trey
just
Turner.
Trey.
It's
It's Trey
Trey Turner.
Turner.
Trey,
It's
it's not Trey.
I'm
It's
really
not
trying to
because
work
he's
a
31. It's not because he's 31, but we'll
Oh,
knock out the NLEs. Okay.
Oh, no, it's NL West. Okay.
So it's the
yep.
West. All right.
We
Ooh,
did
we
not
didn't
talk
we didn't
about the
talk about the
Giants.
ooh.
Are they
Giants
going
are
to be
overlooked. The
sellers?
Diamondbacks.
Wait,
D-backs,
the
we yeah, but it's just
the Rockies?
both
Yeah, the
kind of
Rockies.
The
disappointing
Rockies are
teams.
going to be
Let's see,
sellers.
26.
They scored 20
Ryan
runs.
McMahon,
Jones,
Ryan
Nolan
McMahon to the
Jones.
Yankees. Is Jones ready? Ready?
Yeah. He's
Jones.
also
He's a
26. No, he's a
lefty.
lefty.
Send it. Send it.
Um,
We gotta
Doyle.
honor it.
Doyle's also a
Doyle is a
lefty.
lefty.
Brenton Doyle.
Just send it.
Maybe,
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see if he's
Just
the
send it.
Rock. Let's see if it's on the Rockies.
Nope.
not the
Nope.
Rockies.
All right, it's gonna be a Dodger.
Not a left fielder. Oh, we've forgotten about pitchers. How about like Emmett Sheehan? Sheehan.
Ooh.
It's a
Ah,
Okay, it's a
no.
starter
starting
who is
pitcher.
25, probably 25 or
Oh,
PFAS.
it's
seven.
Peacock.
It's
Yeah.
PFAS.
Oh, let's
PFAS.
go.
PFAS.
It
Yep.
is.
Yep.
It's
Oh.
not.
No.
Okay, so
He's
he's
27. He's
27.
27.
Okay. Well, what?
27, he played. Okay.
And it's
So,
Diamondbacks
Giants.
or Giants.
How
Oh,
old is Logan
it's
Webb?
he's a left.
No, he's not.
Oh,
He's 27. He's
27.
27. There we go.
Are the
There we go.
Giants in it? Are they not in it?
Trade? Logan Webb trade? That might be a stretch.
The Giants are
Where
not in it.
If the
where
Giants were
are they?
sellers, no, they're not even in a wild
Yeah,
card spot.
they're
They're
way
not even
behind.
that far behind the Cubs. Yeah, they're in fact they're
They
almost
should be
tied with the
sellers.
Cubs.
They
Sellers.
should be
Logan Webb
sellers.
to the Brewers? What? We need starting pitching, so well, there you
Be
go.
crazy.
Logan Webb. You heard it here first.
All right.
Giants are sellers. What are the Giants? I think there's a lot of teams that are like kind of in limbo, like the Blue Jays and the Rays and the Giants and the Cubs. What are you? Are you good? Are you bad?
What are you?
Bro, who are
Who
you?
are you?
Where are you?
Your
What
soccer
are
trade for the day outside of Ryan Sessegnon is Mazraoui to West Ham
you? Oh, from Bayern?
from Bayern.
All
There you
right.
go.
There you
Bang.
go. The
Well,
stove is
there you have
hot.
it.
Stove is
Um,
actually freezing right now.
Nobody's
it
getting
is
It's
traded.
like
freezing.
we need to connect the gas. The gas, we're out of propane.
Yeah. Hopefully there's a lot more trades by the next time we are recording. We'll probably run through what has all happened at the time we record our next one. So be on the lookout for that. We'll see if any of us were right. Probably not, but you never know.
Huh.
We'll see. We'll see if we predicted any of them correctly. Give ourselves a nice pat on the back. But yeah, don't forget to check out the social medias. Go check out the YouTube. Jacob's gonna have a fire video coming up shortly about the trade deadline. Subscribe, leave a rating wherever you are listening to our podcast. And until next week, you just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.